Welcome to the latest edition of the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary, direct from our assignment desk, otherwise known as my Compost Heap. Let's see what stories we're working on at this hour. Well, our reporter Doreen Chernecki at the New Haven Independent saw Gerald Edwards walking out of a house on Avon Street with some toilet paper and little else because he lost most of his belonging in a fire at the house. Edwards rents a room from one of New Haven's most notorious slumlords, Dr. Shu of Bethany. For years, the city's been chasing him. And get this is the third time Mr. Edwards has been displaced from a fire in a building owned by Dr. Shu. That same building had a fire in November 2023. There was another fire at Shu-owned property where a person lost their life. In this case, we don't have a report yet what started the fire. We have no idea if it was the landlord's fault. We do know that something is rotten in East Rock. You know what else is rotten? How many black male New Haveners had decades of their lives stolen from them by New Haven cops who invented evidence, knowingly fabricated cases that get them sent to prison for decades until new evidence or efforts have gotten them released. Gaylord Salters did a Murder the Myth t-shirt about that. He was one of them. Another is Troy Streeter, who's now in Alder. He spent decades in prison, and now the state has a hearing of how many millions of dollars to pay him back for certain time that was lost. At that hearing that Laura Glesey Independent covered, Lisa Bull DeLulo, who spent a career in law enforcement watching that stuff happen, had a fit of conscience now that she's retired. She went to that hearing on his behalf and said, I watched my late ex-husband, who was detective in that case, do this over and over again to people. So it's rotten, but it's never too late to atone and try to make up for some of our sins. Never too late to buy blue spray paint and other art supplies from Hull's Art Supply on Chapel Street, very popular place. Just got sold to Yale, and they claim they're gonna keep it open and pay taxes on it. And here's the part that gets me, talk about what gets people mad. Yale paid $2.4 million for the property. That means the property is worth $2.4 million, because when we say what's a property worth, it means what would it sell for. Do you know that when the city taxes the property, it says it's worth only $1.18 million, less than half. And as you know, if you watch these videos over and over and over again, the city says that buildings bought for much more money by Yale, by wealthy out-of-state developers building upscale housing, by outside investors buying poverty housing. So what does that mean? Over and over and over again, millions of dollars at a time. It means the rest of us make up the taxes that the wealthy don't pay. And it means this boom we've had in New Haven, more of the benefits are going to wealthy people from the outside than the rest of the city was supposed to benefit. Now, a lot of cities have this out-of-date way of assessing property inaccurately to benefit the rich. But instead of saying in New Haven, we have vision, we try new things to do things right, we just throw up our hands and say, well, everybody else does that, so we'll do it too, even if we're screwing our own people. Given that, you'd think some of us might be upset about the checks we're gonna be writing the next time we have taxes when a new budget is passed, because there's just a proposed new city budget from City Hall, and it raises taxes a little more than 4%. And I know we're supposed to be mad about it, we're supposed to be mad about taxes anytime, but I'm not mad. I'm glad to write a check for taxes every year to the city of New Haven, because I live in this city and I care about us all working together to have good schools, safe streets, and opportunity. Now, the Board of Alders will be looking at this proposal. They'll probably shave some off and find places to cut. That's good. And as I mentioned before, we could be getting more money from the people benefiting from this boom if we had a little more courage. But overall, I don't think 4% is unreasonable these times, especially when you look at the major reason why. We're paying cops and teachers more money than we were before in new contracts, and they needed that, and better health care. We are taking stuff that was funded as a one-off after the pandemic, when for 5 minutes the federal government was giving cities a lot of money to do stuff right, and we did stuff like have a climate czar. We have the Compost team to have people who are experienced on the streets with mental health to help people in tough situations so they don't escalate. So while the details in the democratic process will be ironed out, overall there's a lot to be mad about, but not the fact that we have a city that tries hard and we work all together to keep all of us safe and thriving. Until next time, this is the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary. Remember, always pick up and recycle our trash while we still can.